started the recording, so let's just go ahead and get to looking at some of this gameplay.
Sounds good.
We'll turn some of the comms down. Alright, so first off, okay, he's coming. It's a little bit skipped in because he was on Orisa and Ball to start here. But, you know, first thing he comes out, he's looking for energy. Looks like his team's just regrouping up. He sees mines, he just gets energy off the mines. Real easy. It looks like he also bubbled the brig, assuming two things here. Probably when he bubbled. So first off, he bubbles after he sees the mines, so he's bubbling the safe brig, right? Tanking as well as gets him a bunch of energy, and then he's also bubbling because, you know, the ball's rolling into them. And so real easy energy to start off here. Alrighty, gets away with the bubble. He's keeping an eye on it because he does use this immediately after he gets it off a cooldown. Right, he's on 1 second on it. He's 1 HP. He uses this as soon as he gets it. So again, paying attention to the fact that whenever you're looking for bubble, you can be looking for these things ahead of time, right? You can be glancing at the cooldown and going, okay, well, I have 4 seconds on it, and you're thinking about it ahead of time of how you're going to use it. Here, he knows that he's coming up on bubble in 1 second here, and he needs the bubble this instant, so he's just spamming the key, going bubble, 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 right? And then he uses it right before he's about to die, and then it gets a bunch of energy and saves his life and gets the kill, right? So they're up a pick, so they're getting a little bit more aggressive here. Tracer goes in aggressively. He sees that. He bubbles. They all shoot at him, right? So again, whenever we're using bubble, we're using it when we know one enemy team's looking at somebody, and two, the enemy team's shooting at that person, right? He knows that there's. Oh, for a second there, I thought it was in a replay, and I can go check. So he knows that there's people on cart. He sees the Zarya, it's full charge Zarya. And he sees Tracers going in, so he bubbles Tracer, lets Tracer stay in there for a little bit longer, and gets him energy in return, right? Notice his aggression when he's going for this bubble, so he's peeking a little, he's pushing forward a little bit when he's going for this, okay? And again, look, he's doing this again when he's still 2 seconds away from bubble. He's pushing forwards. He's getting aggressive. He goes on this little off angle here. He gets some damage in. People start to he attracts their attention. Right now, he has more people looking at him. So then he bubbles. Then this is actually when people start damaging him, and then he backs off when the bubble's gone. Right. So he uses his bubble to first off gets more aggressive because you can get more aggressive when you have it available, and second off he uses it after he draws their attention and therefore gets energy off of it. Right, so it's a kind of dual effect. He's getting himself energy as well as getting more damage in and getting aggressive with it. Notice how he's using his bubbles pretty much off a cooldown, right? Every time he gets them. Right, pay attention. We're gonna watch the cooldowns. Right, we can watch this in even in a faster speed here. Right, uses it. Okay, 1 second, and okay, uses it. Right, it's pretty fast. It's not, he doesn't hold on to it very much. Uses it.
Okay.
Right, uses it. And if you're just watching bottom right, just keep your eyes on it. Uses it, right, pretty much immediately, every single time. Right, the one he's a little bit more hesitant to use is he's holding onto his personal bubbles slightly more, but he's using it very, very frequently. Right, he's continuing.
Yeah.
Every time he gets it, and that's what we're talking about when we're trying to keep up quantity and quality, right? We're trying to both look to use it off of cooldown as well as look for good situations to use it, and then that's how you're getting max value out of it. So we want to make sure we're looking for both. Okay, let's get back to where we were before. So he's like, notice this whole time he's very, very high energy, so he's able to do a lot. He's shredding the Zarya here. There he bubbles the Sigma because Sigma's 1 HP. If you saw his health bar. Here he steps out. His mistake is that he steps out into the open. So even even professional players, number 1-4 or 2-4 make mistakes. So here, he goes out again. I thought we were in replay. And it's about to like go out of his POV, but he walks onto the open here. He's not next to any cover, and then that's what results in his death. Is now he doesn't have anything to stop him from taking damage. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong time. I know he dies there soon.
Reaper 1, no shit, I can believe Tracer. I have grab here in a sec. Yo, Zarya's stuck left there. Oh wait, dude.
Okay, so you see how he kind of walks onto the open, gets pretty much shredded. So that's just a mistake he made there. He's coming back. He's gonna look for bubbles to get his energy back up, as well as grab, but they actually won the fight. Okay, so now you hear him. He's talking. He's saying, "I'm gonna go top. I'm gonna drop on them with a grab." Now he's pressing tab. He's checking ults. Right, press tab in between each fight. Let's see. Does he see he's gonna combo with pulse?
I think it's like a free grab here. Well, we have grab pulse.
Grab pulse, right? He's pressing tab. He's checking. He's thinking of combos. He says, "I'm going top with grab. Follow me up there." He says, "We have grab pulse." Right? He's communicating with his team about it.
Yeah, get out of.
Yo, Reaper's up there. ATP.
Oh, never mind. We don't got it. That's fine.
I think Reaper's on the left here, like in the room.
Oh, what does he mean? We don't. Oh, Tracer just used pulse bomb. Okay, so he's also look up how aware he is. He also paid attention to the fact that Tracer just used pulse. So now that plan's out the window. Oh, unfortunate. So here good bubble reaction time with that. Notice how while he's in the middle shooting, he almost while still shooting, he's getting this bubble off on his teammate. So he doesn't take any time off at all while in between his bubbles here. He's still shooting while he's bubbling. Still shooting while he's bubbling. Accidentally, I think he gets booped to the side there right as he grabs. So he ends up grabbing that on accident.
I can bubble whoever on point though.
Notice the positioning usage as well. He's playing in kind of usually in good positioning here. Now he's having to step on the cart because they're about to cap, so he as the tank needs to get on. Using the bubble when he's going in. Now they're just kind of in stall mode. Yeah, so at that point he had died because he just had the contest point. Not really a mistake he made on his part. Notice how he's about to peek here in a second, right? He's just getting aggressive when he's looking for the bubble. He's pushing forwards, out in the open, down the main choke where everyone's going to be looking. He's stepping. They have a Sigma shield, but he's stepping in front of the Sigma shield, right? So he can get that energy in. Now he's telling his teammates, if you, again, turning up the volume, he's telling him, peek main for my bubble. Right?
I got a bubble for energy. Main here if you peek main.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so that bubble doesn't work out, but you can at least hear the communication he's trying to go for. He's trying to get the main tank to peek main for him.
Coming main. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Zarya now self bubble. Well, like 1 HP there in stairs. Is Zarya top here? Do you TP ups him, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe. I think
Yeah,
So that bubble's a little bit mistimed because he used it when Ball's backing up. Right now he's getting aggressive. Notice again his target priority, right? Who he's trying to go on. He's prioritizing the supports here. He's not running in and looking for the Zarya. He's running in and trying to get on the Ana. He's going in when he has the bubble to kind of get him out because he's getting real aggressive, and then he has his bubble available, which gives him a little bit more survivability while he's doing this. Oh, I do think that was a little too aggressive. He gets away with it because his team goes in with him. Right, so essentially just notice the target priority there, and how he's using his bubble again is he's using it while he's getting aggressive. Therefore, he has more people looking at him, he's doing more tanking, and he's also getting more energy in return. Just in between fights, maintaining energy. Oh, that was another thing we were going to look at, maintaining energy. I'll point that out more. I wasn't paying attention to it because I'm skipping through after these fights are done. But look how he's right now. His whole team's dead, but he walks out of spawn. He pokes for a little bit, gets them all to look at him, and then he just bubbles. Right when he sees, look how many people are looking at him. He has like 5 people looking at him. Right, so he knows he's going to be taking a bunch of damage.
Meteor spawn, okay. Nice, 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 nice.
Alright, let's go, Cap.
Yeah.
Okay, so here he's going to probably look to, again, maintain some energy. So he's looking for the bubble. Focusing the Ana, right? He's not sitting on point, looking at the ball. Ends up getting grabbed, so that catches him out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fragging pretty good this game, and calling. I don't know.
Right? No, bubbles after he sees Soldier starts to shoot at him. Right? Soldier shoots at him. He knows that more shots are coming. Notice when he's bubbling as well that he's not. When he bubbles, he doesn't run away and duck behind cover. He doesn't. He stands still and lets them shoot at him. Right? He doesn't move out of the way. He kind of walks forwards and lets them shoot at him. Right? So when you're bubbling, you kind of want to make it easy for them to hit you.
I can't go in, I'm too weak.
Again, peeking main, backing out when bubble's gone, right? Aggressive, passive, and he doesn't have it. Now he's full energy again, he's going to be able to do a little bit more now.
I'm on that ball. Ball's like 1 HP.
Okay, wait a sec. Don't get picked right now.
I'm taking high ground here. TPing up with you. I can bubble you point if you're there.
And right now he's just playing really passive, so...
They drop main.
And which is kind of the playstyle that he has to go for because of the fact that they're on a ball. So again, paying attention to the fact of what team comp they're working with is he can't be aggressive on the front line because he's playing with the balls as a kind of secondary as a main tank here.
Oh, I fucked up trying to go for the ball with it though. That's fine.
And messes up his grab again. Alright, constantly high energy. Bubbles coming up very often. Gets aggressive with him when he goes for him. Makes it easy for the people to shoot at him.
Yeah, we got it.
Notice again, barely takes a break from. He's kind of multitasking here. He doesn't take a single break while shooting, but he still lands the bubble, right? So pay attention to his bubble here while he's still shooting. Still shooting, bubbles him, right? All in one process. So whenever we're bubbling, we're not taking 4 seconds to try to land the bubble. We're trying to continue to shoot, continue to damage while we're doing it.
No regrets.
Okay, so in between fights, looking to maintain energy here, right? We don't, because he's at 80, doesn't want to come back into the next fight with, at like 50. So we're gonna at least notice 1 round of bubbles here, I would imagine. Looking to take high ground as well. Nope. Fortunate.
Okay, I'm coming top also.
Okay, so he sees ball here. Okay, starts fighting them, poking with them, right? He sees all the poke damage coming in. He stands on top of it, takes it. Now he's maintaining the energy, right? So he's not just chilling on cart, doing nothing. He's not AFKing here. He's pushing forward. He's getting aggressive, looking to poke, looking to maintain energy, and which he does. And now he's full energy again. And they actually get a bunch of staggers here. So without even having a full second fight, they've now
Very nice.
basically won a full second fight.
She's bottom there.
When Echo throws their sticky balls on you and you bubble yourself and then they go off while you have bubble up,
Will that stop it? Yes.
just okay.
Yep. Same thing.
They'll stop it and get you energy.
Same thing as Tracer Pulse Bomb. Yep.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
You stay up there, Guru. Go in. Actually, I'm gonna bubble you. In a second, you peek me.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay. That's you get back fast.
There's a little bit of miscommunication there.
That was awkward.
Get in there. That tickles.
He went one side, I went the other.
All right. So now he's starting to decay a little bit on his thing. The reason why he's playing passive right now is because they are down a couple of people, so he's looking to just stick towards the back. Notice that like he's playing when he sees he's down people, he's not up in the front line anymore playing aggressive in their spawn. He's backing up, playing on the back of cart, looking to back up because he's getting ready to back up if he needs to, so he can maintain his energy. Okay. He sees he's losing the fight, so he's trying to back out. Right. Probably not gonna be able to do this successfully, so he's just looking to let them kill him. Right, get some extra ult charge in. Right, so during this time he realizes, okay, I'm not getting out, but he's just gonna get grab up. Right, so he just runs into them, lets them damage him. So this is an example of again not staggering himself, but running in to let them kill him.
Alright, I gotta grab this. There's.
Okay, looking to grab this fight. Doesn't have a combo with it. Doesn't look like a okay. Good bubble.
It's good on Zarya there. Zarya and a bunch of.
Okay. Notice how he doesn't necessarily use it to get a full team wipe, but he uses it to secure some kills. Now, this wouldn't be nearly as good if this was like a Zarya and a Reinhardt, because then they can just very easily keep themselves up. So it's really dependent on who he's getting with it, but he sees that he can follow up because he's high energy, right? He's 78 energy here, so he can follow up with his grab. His team's all in here, so they can follow up, and they don't have a single shield, so any grab he gets kills, right? So he tosses in a grab here, gets the Zarya and the soldier, and this guarantees 2 kills here, right? So he doesn't have to go for 6-man. He just tosses it out, gets 2 kills, and this wins the fight anyways. Okay. Actually, sorry, he did have a combo. He did mines. That's another combo you can look to go for.
Anna's on cart. I can bubble you in a second, Tracer. There if you.
Okay. So looks to bubble Tracer so she can get the fight off. All right.
I'm gonna go ahead Anna with you, Tracer. I'm with you. I'm on Anna. Nice.
Picking up stagger kills. They've won that fight. Okay, they're looking to recontest actually.
Zarya.
Okay. He can be a little bit more aggressive on the enemy Zarya because of the fact that they don't have a Reinhardt and they don't have any shield tanks. So this changes up the target priority slightly because he doesn't. They don't have as much tanking, right? The reason why we don't want to go for tanks a lot of the time is because of the fact that they can just get behind. You know, they have a bunch of health, but a bunch of tanking abilities. In this situation, the enemy Zarya doesn't really have that, right? She doesn't have a way to get out. So if enemy Zarya is running out in the open, right? She's gonna get insta melted with his full charge, so he can focus her. Oh, but he's still gonna take another character if given equal opportunity, most likely.
I literally have no idea.
Vault's kind of tough here on last. Yeah, maybe Sig though. Also, still. Either way can work.
I'll get bodied.
All right.
Yeah. Can't
After this round, we can probably get into something else because unless you want to continue with this, because I think we've gotten some of the main points here. Okay. Pushing aggressively, taking space, going. He's not just sitting on cart again. Okay, getting a bunch of energy before the fight starts. Looking to play passive because he's out of bubble, out of health. He has his bubbles back. Again, using them very frequently. He's pretty much using it every time he gets them.
We should play while they're down once though. We should push that Zarya. I'm pushing her.
Okay, here he backs up just so he knows that they have to run the point, so he backs up here so he has a bigger view of point, right? So he can see everything is coming to point, so he can shoot at whatever he needs to shoot at. Right. Again, paying very close attention to his ultimate, and it's the same thing you can do with your bubbles, right? Is he sees he's 95, he's damaging, and he's just spamming Q. Alright, so he's using it the second that it comes off. Alright, so if we're paying attention to his energy the whole time here, very rarely is he dipping below like 60. If he 65 average energy, right?
Yeah.
And then anytime he's not at 60, he's 60 in most fights, right? Or 60 and above in most fights. The times that the reason why it's only 65 is because of how many times he's died, because that sets it back. Every time that he's like coming into fights where he doesn't have energy, but 65 energy is where you want to be looking at, right? Not 35 or 14, right? So this is where you're actually able to do stuff, and this is where you get into 3 gold medal Zarya territory, where you're the one actively carrying and actively doing stuff, is when you can get your energy online by having good bubbles like he's using. So that all kind of making sense with how now that you have kind of the visuals of how bubbles might be used a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
Already. Do you by chance happen to? I know we said we were gonna go over this, but did you have any replays that you would want to have gone over?
Not off the top of my head that are going to be replays that are going to kind of elicit any good information out of, at least in my knowledge.
All right. Would you like to just do the streaming then, or would you like to continue? Because we can keep doing this. This would be fine. But
Yeah. Let me. I'll stream a game and see what happens, and
All right.
and try and get a Zarya in there. Just kind of insta lock Zarya, and have the rest of the team deal with it. I don't know, something like that. That did it was well. Some of the people on my team recommend watching, and I just hadn't gotten to it, but you can see that certainly very helpful to see some of that.
Yep, and it's useful, like if you are wanting to analyze your own gameplay of them, it's just
Mhm.
pay attention to the specific things that you're wanting to watch, right? It's the same thing as when you're playing Overwatch, right? And we've talked about this, is just not autopiloting while you're playing. Same thing while you're watching it is, if you're trying to improve off of it, instead of just autopiloting and going, huh, that's cool, he's getting kills, right? Instead, focus on the specific things you're trying to do by focusing on bubbles, by focusing on when he's using bubbles, how he's using bubbles, how aggressive is he when he's using bubbles, in what situations is he using bubbles, how often is he using bubbles, right? So we're just kind of focusing in on bubbles because we're looking for bubbles. If you're trying to think about something else, like you feel like you struggle with positioning, go take a look at, okay, how is this person positioning on Zarya? Where are they standing? How close to cover are they? In proportion to their team, where are they at? How often do they go on off angles, right? So there's all these different things that go into when we're kind of watching through their gameplay, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's not just, wow, that's cool, he's full energy and he gets kills, right?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, you can just open up your stream. It's hello. 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 All
Can you hear
right.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry.
Oh.
It like I didn't even know that there's something up because like I just thought you were being quiet. And then I tried talking and nothing happened.
Oh, yeah, I was saying something random, I think. But, oh. The anti-synergy between me and the diva.
Oh, I'm terrible.
Baptiste 1, Baptiste.
They look to get aggressive. You have picks, you have bubble, right? Get right up inside them.
Nice.
Yep, maintain your
Good
energy.
shit.
Your best shot.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Barriers on you.
Okay, getting a little too aggressive. Remember, you don't have a shield. You can't play that far forwards. Use cover a little bit better because we're kind of standing on the open there, right? So we just got to play more passive when we see that we're on this kind of
Bro,
double
you are not
off
running
tank
that.
comp.
Just like in training.
Right,
Good
job.
the same way that when he was running a ball, that he was kind of playing very passive, playing just waiting for them to make a mistake, them to push forwards, then he can run in, right?
Get in there.
Even though we're using off a cooldown, remember to keep up the quality, right? If nobody's looking at Zenyatta, if nobody's
I was trolling.
shooting at Zenyatta, then it's not going to get you anything.
Activated.
No, it's unfortunate.
D.Va just, yeah.
No, that's why Zarya D was not even a really great combo, but no, it's
Yeah.
workable with.
Okay, I'm back.
I,
Your best shot.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Good night.
that was a bad bubble. I guess.
Looking to push forward, maintain energy.
Ready for battle.
Hey, go through spawn. These kids are some garbage.
Okay, we have grab up. Do we have anything in combo with grab?
No. I'm gonna grab when they come around the corner here.
Oh boy, back up.
Going for the godless.
Oh, driving him off 26.
Get in
Big.
there.
High IQ.
All right. Not a great. Pay attention to kill feed, right? We're down 2 people there, so whenever you lose 2 people at the very beginning of a fight, that's where it's more questionable whether or not that's winnable, right? If you're losing to people in the middle of the fight, then you might have the advantage, but you might have another advantage. But in that situation, that's probably a lost fight because you lost them at the very, very start.
Oh.
Pushing point.
He definitely has high damage.
Apparently by myself.
Okay, positioning there, just you dropping
Yeah.
the point again. Keep in mind position, cover usage. Keep in mind the fact that you don't have a shield.
There is no obligation for the universe to make
Get out,
sense
get
to
out, get
you.
out. Dude, he didn't even mean to hook me.
He was going for me.
I know. Alright, I pulse. Good ult. What?
Hold on, back up, back up. Back up, Sigma.
Get out again.
Oh, I'm coming back. I'm back.
No longer exists. Soldier 76 reporting.
I think I can get a pulse pump going there.
My barrier is destroyed.
From the point. Wait, how did you kill me through Ram?
Okay, we didn't use shift a single time there. Look to use it when you're a little bit earlier in the fight so that you can come into the fight with a bunch of health, right? We're also throwing out shield very, very frequently at half HP, and that's just meaning that it keeps going down and we never really have it at full. With your shield, you want to leave it down, let it recharge all the way, and then push in when you have it at full,
Insidious,
right?
do you wanna
Because
go Ana so
you
you
can't
can
really. Sorry, I have to turn your
double this,
stream down a little bit here. You can't really get aggressive with your shield if it's gonna instantly break. So look to let it recharge a little bit more, and then go aggressive when you have it back. So those are a few of the main things there.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're using shift again. And again on Sigma, it looks like it's just very inconsistent across all of our abilities. To where we just need to make sure we're fixing those inconsistencies and getting them to be good all the time, not just some of the time.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like I. Yeah.
Can we go left side?
Okay, like the left side call.
Take aggro. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna look for an early shift here for some, just to soak up a bunch of damage.
Nice wall, cap.
Just watch for the hooks.
Bar is extremely low.
Sigma purple. Hog split.
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, behind.
Can you go bursting?
Okay, fight was lost, and we're kind of staying in the fight a little too long. When you know you've lost the fight, no, we're not using any more tanking abilities, right? So we're not using shift, we're not using shield. We're just running into them. If we don't think we can get out, we just run into them, we shoot at them to get some ult charge, and then we let them kill us, right? That way we're not wasting time, we're not staggering, and we're not coming out super late behind our team.
Hog behind.
Oh my god. No.
Apparently that's that out.
Okay, here we can probably look to combo our with Baffled, so just look to position around your Baptiste so that you can capitalize off of it, even while you're ulting, right? Just stick a little low to the ground and call out, hey, Baffled when I ult, right?
I have ult.
We're down on.
Pay attention to how much time you have left.
Go for it. I have ult. I'm gonna die. I have ult.
Okay, remember, down 1 isn't a lost fight, and doesn't mean that you shouldn't fight in the fight. And 2, pay attention to the timer, right, so that we're not holding on to our ultimate when it's last fight, right? We want to make sure we're using our ultimate at the beginning of the fight, not halfway through, right? Or pretty much there we use it after we'd already lost, right? So we want to make sure we're looking to use it at the beginning so we get more value out of it, and we can look to get kills and whatnot before they're able to actually do anything. Not using it just because we see last second that it's last fight, right? Right, we still have like 20 minutes left, so you can probably look to go ahead and get into another game. I don't know if we need too much of a recap this time around. Most of the time we just went over that review, or half of it. We just went over that review.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a shorter one.
Understandable.
Welcome to Blizzard World. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Oh, let's go. What's up, guys? Oh my god, I fucking love it when everybody's in voice chat. Can't stand it when nobody joins voice chat.
Together, we are strong. I'll be busy soon enough. Attack commences in 30 seconds. Just like in training. Visualize, then execute.
Where do you guys want me to go?
Okay, so we're working with the Reinhardt. Just, looking to frequently bubble him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack.
Keep in mind our support lineup here, right? Team comp dictates playstyle. We're taking a look at our supports. We have very low healing, so we got to make sure we're playing a little bit passive. Good bubbles.
Where's that soldier?
Han's on the right.
Hanzo to the top right.
Yeah, I just got fucking destroyed. Guy shield Widow, Ryan.
Okay, very good bubbles so far.
You have to shield her.
Watch your.
I don't know what. I guess I was discorded.
There we walked too far onto the
Too
open,
far out.
and then we also were getting aggressive when we didn't have bubble, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was bad.
Ryan low.
So good initial bubbles though. I liked that we were bubbling up into the fight, and then we got in with 100 energy. We just weren't able to do anything with it because we died instantly. Okay, good job drawing their attention and then waiting for them to shoot, and then we bubble ourselves. Really, really nice. Look to do the same thing for your team here. Oh. Okay, there we bubbled ourselves. We were holding on to our personal bubble a little too long, and we ended up getting shattered because of it. And then I just meant as we ended up getting shattered, and then we lost the fight because of that.
Yeah.
Soldier and Hanzo on the top. Let's go right. Let's go right.
I'm coming.
Okay, especially when you saw that your Ryan was getting absolutely dominated like that, and he's gonna die. Do your best to try to back up. You playing too aggressive still, and then that meant that you're not able to get out with your gav, right? Or sorry, get out with your energy, right? When we saw we were down on Reinhardt there that early in the fight, that's where we want to consider grouping up and trying to get a Reinhardt back, not running in without him.
Please keep your fucking shield up, Ryan.
Remember, we're not pausing for 10 seconds with shooting, just when we're looking for bubbles.
Come on. That was a bad personal.
Okay, pay attention to kill feed. Alright, using it after we were down 3 people, right? 3v6 is pretty much lost fight. Or is a lost fight, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the same reoccurring problems. We keep dying very frequently. We are doing a little bit better with getting our energy up in between fights here, especially with these poking. I like this. Like these are good bubbles that we're starting off with. It's just that we're dying very frequently, and we have some problems with our bubbles. Okay, good aggression, but we kind of standing away from our team. We got too aggressive and where they kind of walked into us. All right, so even when we have bubble, we kind of have to manage our aggression. We can't play so aggressive to where we're dying because of it, because they can break bubble. They can can just wait bubble out and then kill us. We can't walk onto the open even when we have a bubble. We have to still play next to cover, right? When we're bubbling, we can peek out into the open and let them shoot us, but we still need to be able to duck behind cover once we're done. So there, we just ended up getting way too aggressive, and then the Reinhardt and Zarya pushed into us, and then we died because of that.
Select your hero.
Alright. Does that sound good to you guys?
I get a can I get a bat?
obligation for the universe to
Can we get a bat mercy going?
retrieving the barrier.
No. Okay.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Tempest fugit.
We hold right here at rock. Here we hold. You can go back a little bit.
Yeah, it's a silver player, you know.
Attackers incoming.
Yeah.
Make sure you're not giving up shield behind you in a bad spot. If your team's pushing forwards, push up with them.
Tracer on right side. Keep the shield up. Nice.
When you're looking for that eat, make sure you're stepping in front of your team. You're not standing behind them.
Holy shit.
Yep, didn't want to eat there. Not at all.
Gamora.
Careful, watch your health bar. We are pushing forwards when we're down some people and we're down some health.
I have no heals.
Retrieving the barrier.
Ow. That's why we need a mercy.
Barrier is unstable.
Tracer low in the back.
Coming up bolt.
Activating the barrier.
I can't miss those.
Okay, with your shift, remember it's not just an ability to save your life, right?
Mhm.
The one of the biggest things that comes out of your shift usage is the fact that you get so much health from it, right? You can essentially double your health by getting a massive one off. So when we're coming into fights, we want to make sure that we're looking to use that early on in the fight so we can get our health up, and also we use it as tanking, so we don't have to rely so heavily on our shield. So we want to make sure we're looking to use that a little bit more often, a little bit more consistently, because we're not using it as often as we should be. Besides that, you were kind of giving your diva some uh so you avoided her, and when she was like trying to position up at the rock there, but then once the fight had, or like when the fight was like kind of resetting, we'd actually walked back up to the rock placement, right, even when our team wasn't
Mhm.
there. So make sure that you're not leading your team into bad positioning, and that we're watching our positioning, because unless our team goes there, we don't want to be the ones to lead them there, right? Because
Yeah.
if that's bad positioning, we don't want to be the catalyst of the bad positioning. Now, when do we actually start? Because we started like a little minute late, but
5:30. Yeah.
um, so we still have like 11 minutes here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit in another comp match, but
That's okay. I gotta keep getting ready for my wife to come home. So I would we can call it a day.
oh, all right. So then, do a quick wrap up. Right, bubble usage. We're on our Zarya gameplay, right? We had some decent starting fight bubbles, decent poke bubbles, but then we kind of got way too aggressive. We kept dying over and over and over again. You could see that in our kind of in our just stats itself, we were at the end of the first round, we were like 1 in 5, right? That's just a result of us dying too frequently. It means that we can't do anything. With your bubbles, make sure that even though you're looking to get a little bit more aggressive with your bubbles, you're not getting so aggressive that you're pushing into bad positioning, or you're pushing out by yourself and into bad positioning by yourself. We have to make sure that we're kind of managing our aggression to where we're just getting a little itsy bitsy more aggressive, right? It's not so aggressive that we're feeding and throwing, right, to where we're just killing ourselves. We just need to get more aggressive so that people are looking at us, right? And then when they look at us, they shoot at us. I think that we just gotta look to use our bubbles more as frequently as possible. Get good quality in. Survivability, keep the survivability up. Sigma, I think that your Sigma is just a little bit more there than your Zarya gameplay is, and that's kind of, it comes from the fact that, first point was we got absolutely steamrolled, and then second point we actually stood a chance for a little bit. So it is looking like your Sigma is a little bit higher, and if you're looking to if you're looking to climb, Sigma is who you are better on currently. Now, shift usage, make sure you're looking to use that a little bit more often, especially early on in the fights. Shield, make sure that you're not just putting up every other second, and that you're looking to give it time to recharge so you can push in when you have it all the way. Now, with rock usage, I think it's kind of the same thing as last time. You just look to get a little bit more consistent, but there's no, from half the time it's good, half the time it's bad. Shield placement, pretty decent. Just want to make sure you're working on the usage. Positioning on your Sigma, just make sure you're not leaving your team into bad positionings. Stay next to cover. Keep all the don't walk onto the open. The same yada yada. You get good ult usage when you use in the final fight there. Besides that, make sure you're also paying attention to kill feed, as we did, I think, on Zarya, grav like twice in lost fights. So pay attention to kill feed so that you're paying attention to whether or not you're winning or losing fights, as that has, a few times that we made some mistakes. I think we staggered once, we ulted in 2 of them when we were in lost fights. So you just got to make sure we're paying attention to kill feed. Besides that, biggest thing on Zarya is this time with survivability. I don't even think it was bubbles, but bubbles are going to be number 2. So Zarya survivability is number 1, bubbles is number 2. On your Sigma, probably say shift usage was very high up there, and shield usage will probably put it number 2, and then maybe in general awareness and positioning are up there as well. Alrighty.
Okay.
So any questions on anything we've gone over?
No, I just feel like I'm worse
Yeah.
than last week.
And that's gonna happen, man. It's you're gonna have your ups and downs. I didn't keep exponentially going, especially once I got up towards the top, I peaked at 44, 68, and then even back while I was trying to go pro, a year later I couldn't break that peak, right? It happens. It's gonna happen, but it doesn't mean that just because you can't do climb now doesn't mean you can't climb in the future. So keep at it, man. Don't autopilot during your games. Focus on the things that we're talking about. If you want to make your bubbles better, focus on your bubbles. If you want to make your positioning better and your aggression better and all these things better, focus on them. Don't try to focus on them all at once, because you'll get confused and you'll get overwhelmed. Try to not just autopilot through your gameplay and not just focus on winning, but focus on improving. And then hopefully you'll start to see the improvement.
Sounds good to me. Let's see what I can do over the next week or so.
Alrighty. I'm gonna